Have you ever stood in your kitchen watching the steam rise from your pan, wondering if the way you're cooking might be doing more harm than good? It's something many of us don't think about, especially when cooking has been a comforting part of our daily routine for decades. But what if I told you that some of the most common ways we prepare our meals might actually be increasing our risk of cancer? It sounds alarming, but it's true, and it's something that everyone, especially those of us over 60, should be aware of. You see, as we get older, our bodies become more sensitive to the harmful effects of certain chemicals that can form during cooking. These chemicals don't just come from the food itself. They can be created by the cooking process. And while we all want to enjoy our meals, it's important to understand how our cooking methods could be affecting our health. Today, I want to share with you 5 cooking habits that might be quietly putting you at risk every time you prepare a meal. These are habits that many of us have grown up with, and maybe even passed down through generations. But knowing about them can help us make smarter choices that protect our health and keep us feeling strong and vibrant for years to come. Let's begin with the first habit that often goes unnoticed: cooking at temperatures that are too high. Now, I'm sure you've heard the advice to cook thoroughly or make sure your food is well done. It's good advice when it comes to avoiding foodborne illnesses. But cooking at extremely high temperatures, like searing meat on a blazing hot pan or cranking up the oven to broil, can lead to the formation of harmful substances called heterocyclic amines, HCAs, and polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, PAHs. These compounds have been linked to increased cancer risk in various studies. Imagine Helen, a lively 65-year-old who loves to grill steaks for her family. She's proud of her perfect caramelized crust on her meat, but what she doesn't realize is that this crispy, charred exterior might be producing those cancer-causing chemicals. It's not about giving up grilling entirely. Helen can still enjoy her favorite meals, but by lowering the cooking temperature slightly and avoiding direct flames, she can reduce these harmful compounds significantly. It's not just grilling. That's the problem. High-heat cooking in general can be a concern. When you roast, bake, or fry at very high temperatures, especially above 300 degrees Fahrenheit, the risk of creating these dangerous substances increases. So it's a good idea to cook at moderate temperatures, allowing food to cook through gently rather than burning the outside while leaving the inside undercooked. The second cooking habit to watch out for is rapid heating, or what many of us do when we rush to prepare meals. I want you to think about George, a busy grandfather who likes to whip up dinner quickly after a long day. He often turns his stovetop burner to the highest setting and tosses his vegetables and meats in the pan to cook fast. It might save time, but that quick, intense heat can cause a spike in the production of harmful chemicals, just like with cooking at too high a temperature. Fast heating doesn't give food the chance to cook evenly, and it tends to char the surface, which can release those same HCAs and PAHs we talked about earlier. Plus, rapid heating might degrade some of the beneficial nutrients in your food, which is something we definitely don't want. The good news is that slowing down a little in the kitchen can make a big difference. Taking your time, cooking on medium heat and stirring frequently helps food cook more evenly, reduces harmful compounds, and preserves the flavors and nutrients you love. So far, we've talked about cooking at high temperatures and rushing the cooking process. Both of these habits can increase cancer risk in subtle but important ways. Next, we'll explore other common cooking methods that may be quietly impacting your health and learn simple swaps you can make to keep your meals safe and delicious. Now that we've talked about cooking at very high temperatures and rushing the cooking process, let's move on to 2 other habits that are surprisingly common but could be harming your health: using low-quality non-stick pans and grilling meat directly over charcoal or an open flame. Let's start with those non-stick pans many of us rely on in the kitchen. They're convenient, easy to clean, and make cooking a breeze. But not all non-stick pans are created equal. When you buy a cheap or worn-out non-stick pan, it can release harmful chemicals into your food, especially when heated beyond certain temperatures. Some older or low-quality coatings contain substances that can break down into toxic compounds, which may increase cancer risk over time. Take Mary, for example. She's 70 years old, enjoys cooking scrambled eggs every morning, and loves her favorite non-stick pan. But her pan has been with her for years, and she's noticed the coating is scratched and peeling. While it might seem harmless, those little scratches can cause chemicals to leach into her food when she cooks at medium or high heat. This slow, repeated exposure isn't good for her health. The best advice here is to invest in good quality, non-stick cookware from reputable brands, and replace pans that show signs of wear and tear. Alternatively, consider cooking with safer options like stainless steel or cast iron pans, which don't have chemical coatings but still provide excellent cooking performance when used correctly. Next, let's talk about grilling meat directly, over charcoal or an open flame, a popular way to enjoy summer barbecues and family gatherings. While the smoky flavor is delicious, grilling meat this way can produce harmful chemicals that may increase cancer risk. When meat drips fat onto hot coals, it creates smoke filled with polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, those PAHs we mentioned earlier, which then cling to the surface of your food. At the same time, the high heat from direct flames encourages the formation of heterocyclic amines, or HCAs, in the meat itself. Both of these compounds have been linked to DNA damage and cancer development in animal studies. John, a 68-year-old barbecue enthusiast, loves inviting his grandchildren over for cookouts. He often grills burgers and ribs directly over the charcoal flames, enjoying the charred taste and smoky aroma. But unfortunately, this method can increase the levels of carcinogens on his food. Does this mean John has to give up grilling altogether? Not at all. There are simple ways to reduce these risks, like grilling over indirect heat using a grill basket, or pre-cooking meat in the oven before finishing it on the grill. Marinating meat before grilling can also help lower HCA formation and add delicious flavors. These small changes allow John to enjoy his barbecues while protecting his health. We've covered some eye-opening points so far: high temperatures, rapid cooking, poor quality non-stick pans, and grilling over open flames. Each of these habits is easy to fall into, but also easy to adjust with a little awareness and effort. Coming up, we'll explore one more common cooking practice that you might want to rethink, along with some practical tips to keep your kitchen habit safe and healthy. We've talked about a lot so far, and there's one more cooking habit I want to share with you that's surprisingly common, but can quietly do a lot of harm: reusing cooking oil multiple times. Think about how many times you might have used the same oil for frying or sautéing. Maybe it's been sitting in the pan after making fried chicken or crispy potatoes, and instead of pouring it out, you use it again and again. This might seem like a smart way to save money or avoid waste, but reusing oil repeatedly can cause dangerous chemical changes. When oil is heated over and over, especially at high temperatures, it breaks down and forms harmful compounds like aldehydes and free radicals. These substances have been linked to inflammation, heart disease, and yes, even cancer. The oil becomes less stable and more toxic, and unfortunately, those toxins can get absorbed into your food. Take Linda, a warm-hearted 72-year-old who loves cooking family meals every weekend. She often reuses oil for frying because she wants to be economical, but she's not aware that this habit could be increasing health risks for her and her loved ones. To protect yourself, it's best to use fresh oil for frying whenever possible and avoid overheating it. Choose oils with higher smoke points like avocado oil, peanut oil, or refined olive oil, which are more stable at cooking temperatures. Also, try to limit deep frying and opt for healthier cooking methods like baking, steaming, or sautéing at moderate heat. Changing the way we cook might feel like a big adjustment, especially when these habits have been part of our routines for years. But small, thoughtful changes can make a huge difference in reducing your cancer risk and improving your overall health. Imagine the joy of preparing meals that not only taste great, but also nourish your body and protect you for the years ahead. You don't have to give up your favorite dishes. Just approach cooking with a little more care and awareness. Remember, it's never too late to adopt healthier cooking habits. Your kitchen can be a place of healing and wellness, where the meals you create bring comfort without compromise. Take it one step at a time and celebrate every positive change you make. I'd love to hear from you. Have you tried any of these cooking adjustments before? Or maybe you have your own tips and tricks for healthy cooking. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more practical health tips made just for you. Here's to cooking with care, living well, and enjoying every moment of life, at any age.